We're going to review solving one-step inequalities. Remember, one of the most important rules when you solve these inequalities, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, the inequality symbol switches around. To solve this inequality is like an equation. I look at what's being done in the equation and I do the opposite. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. So I need to divide both sides by 4. These 4's cancel out. X is greater than 16 divided by 4 is 4. Again, they will probably want you to graph these. These are graphed on a number line. You put this number in the middle. Numbers on this side are bigger. Numbers on this side are smaller. Looking at this symbol is going to tell me to put an open or closed circle. Open circle. That means 4 is not an answer, but all these numbers shaded in this direction are my answers. 5, 6, 7, 8, so forth and so on. Example number 2. Again, I'm going to solve this just like an equation. The opposite of multiplying by -5 is dividing both sides by -5. These cancel out. X, remember, if I divide both sides by a negative number, I need to make sure I switch that inequality symbol around. 15 divided by -5, -3. X is now greater than or equal to -3. They will probably want you to graph these answers on a number line. This number goes in the middle. Numbers on this side are bigger. What's bigger than -3? -2. Numbers on this side are smaller. What's smaller than -3? -4. This symbol is going to determine whether or not I put an open circle or a closed circle. Closed circle on -3. That's my answer. And everything bigger than -3. So I shade everything in that direction right there. Example number 3. Remember, I solved these just like an equation. The opposite of subtracting 10 is adding 10. To solve equations, I always do the opposite to both sides. Bring down my x. This cancels out. No reason to switch this around. -5 plus 10 is 5. All my answers are greater than 5. They usually want you to draw a graph of this. This is graphed on a number line. This number right here goes in the middle. Bigger than 5, smaller than 5, and this symbol determines whether or not I put an open circle or a closed circle. Open circle. Shade in this direction. 4 is not an answer, 5 is not an answer, but 6 is an answer. Everything bigger than 5 is an answer. Remember, these things are solved just like equations. To solve an equation or an inequality, I do the opposite. The opposite of dividing by -1 is multiplying by -1. And I'm going to show I'm going to multiply both sides by -1 like this. Before, this is going to cancel out this divided by -1. Remember, if I multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, this inequality symbol switches around. And then I take 8 and multiply it by -1. These are graphed on a number line. This number goes in the middle. What's bigger than -8? -7. What's smaller than -8? -9. This symbol determines whether or not I put an open or closed circle. Closed circle. -8 is an answer. And I shade in this direction. That means all these numbers in this direction are also answers. -7 is not an answer. -8 is an answer. -9 is an answer. Everything less than or equal to -8 is an answer.